Hey, welcome to the Morning Mix After Show. Violetta had to rush off to a regularly scheduled doctor's appointment. Nothing bad, but apparently this is when you can get in. It's tough to get in with the doctors, especially as we head toward the end of the year. Everybody's trying to cram in their appointments and stuff.
That rash.
Well, hey, those are your words. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
But thank God she finally did get it checked out. We've been saying that amongst ourselves for a while. I hope that's nothing bad.
I didn't smell anything today. It's Chris, Nikki, and Whip this morning. So we shared a story that said today, August 24th, is the number one day in the calendar year that people call in sick. And I wondered, have you guys ever faked sick for work? I remember doing it when I was like a little kid and I didn't want to go to school. And even then, I remember I would do it and then I would regret it because after the first hour and a half at home, Price is Right would end and then it would go into like daytime TV and I'd be so bored. I'd feel like, why did I do that? No one's home. I'm bored. Did you guys ever have that experience?
I want to start with a school one. I mean, I'm sure I've done it for work at some point in my life, but there's one that goes down and it's very timely because tonight I'm going to see Guns N' Roses. So we've talked about.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
I skipped and I'll say famously amongst my friends in high school, I skipped the day to watch the Patience release video on MTV.
Well, that would make sense. It would be a world premiere
it was,
video.
Oh, thank you.
But it was actually a world premiere, right?
They had a big deal. They had the logo in the corner with exclusive on it. It was a big deal.
I told them all I was not coming to school that day. The day before, I was like, you guys, I'm staying home. I'm faking sick just to see this premiere.
I don't believe it.
I did. My parents had no idea. That's why I faked being sick.
Huh.
And then the best part was, this is how sad all of our lives were then. I remember we had one payphone in the high school, and they were calling me. And they were like,
what's it like?
How was it?
Oh.
How was the video? And I was literally giving updates on the Patience Guns N' Roses video. I'm like, I don't know, he's just kind of laying here.
I hope they open with that song tonight.
Oh, it's way later. I don't know.
Oh, you've already
Yeah,
set list on FM?
It's
breakdown
way.
of the set,
I don't think I'm
right?
going to stay for Patience tonight. I think
You don't have the patience
we
for
had
it?
peak Patience back in high school. I don't know.
So this reminds me of a time. Okay, fourth grade. I was in fourth grade, but the high school was doing King and I. So they sent a note to all the schools that said, hey, if any kids want to join King and I, we need kids because the King has a ton of kids in King and I. So a bunch of us went and we were in the play, right? And that's lovely. But it was running during school time. So there was like a Thursday night where we had a show. And then Friday morning, I was right there at school because my parents were like, you can do this, but you got to still go to school. Great. Okay. Now, my friend Ellen had come to see the play because her brother who's in high school is in it, whatever. Ellen didn't come to school on Friday until lunchtime because her mom and dad let her sleep in. And I remember like it was yesterday, she walked in and our teacher, Mrs. Duffer, was like, Ellen, why are you late? And she was like, well, I went to see The King and I last night and my parents let me sleep in. And she pointed at me and she goes, he's in the show. And he was here first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know why. I think that's why I started learning. I'm like, wow, if you just show up, people notice.
Yeah.
Like
So,
if you just show up.
You're telling me not to be late tomorrow after Guns N'
No,
Roses.
we have patience for it.
There is some expression. You should Google this because I feel like it's Woody Allen, but I don't want to quote Woody Allen anymore. But
Roman Polanski says.
Oh, even better. Somebody said like half of life is just showing up or something. And and somebody did say that.
Yeah.
It is true.
I think it's really valid. It paid off in college too.
That's true.
Well, especially
anyway,
now.
Right.
What's that?
Especially now. I mean,
yeah.
Man, just driving yourself in is half the battle.
I do think in certain companies, there is an out of sight, out of mind. Even if you're at home working your tail off, let's just say you really are.
Yeah.
I still think there's a little bit of an out of sight, out of mind thing. And maybe that's just my neuroses and my own anxiety about like, no, I'm here, I'm working, I'm here, I'm around.
Well,
But
if there's a lot of equals, let's say there's a lot of like people who could all be in a certain position or who could all do the same job, the same amount of
right.
There's some good English
Nailed
for you.
it.
I
Yes.
skipped that. I skipped that day in English.
I skipped
class.
them well and good day. Oh, well.
Then I would think that any little bit might help you. And if the boss actually knows you or thinks like, oh, wow, that guy's got a nice smile, any little bit could help, right?
I really remember, this is not a joke. It was college, and I was on a date with a girl, and we were out to dinner, and we had a whole conversation about well and good, and like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I think it was because the waiter came up. I was like, how you doing? I was like, oh, well, how are you? Da-da-da. And then we started talking about well versus good or whatever. Fast forward, I am not kidding. This actually happened. Dinner comes, we're eating. I was like, oh, how's your dinner? And she goes, oh, this tastes so well. And I was just like,
oh, I can't
think
date
we're
you
done.
anymore.
I think that's it for us.
Man.
I'm going to head out. This has been fun. Crazy. All right,
really
well,
funny.
hey, you can listen to us, The Morning Mix, every day from 5:30 to 10. Tomorrow morning, there'll be some version of us here, depending what's happening with the rash and with the Guns N' Roses tonight. Who knows? Anything can happen.
A rash at Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, hey, stranger things, right? All right, well, we will find out, and we will see you tomorrow morning on The Morning Mix.